He's angry about mortgages. It's Angry Mortgage. He's swearing. He's cursing loud. He's old. He's opinionated. And he's been doing this so damn long. This program is about mortgages, and this is mortgage advice, but the advice may not apply to your situation. Contact licensed mortgage professionals for specific recommendations before you make decisions about mortgages. You may not agree with Ron, but if you don't, he thinks you're wrong. Oh, and did we say there is a lot of swearing?
In most companies, most mortgage brokerages in Canada, it's all commission all the time.
Yep.
Okay. So how does that work? I mean, just give us just the highlights of how self-employed income needs to be verified.
Yeah, sure. Look, at the end of the day, the banks care about the income that you're paying tax on, right? And so when you have these people come to us and say, I make $200,000 a year, but I declare $1, right? Obviously, there's going to be an issue with that.
Well, they don't normally do that. They normally declare 40 grand.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah, they normally declare 40 grand. Yeah.
And they also care about wanting things to be a 2-year average, right? Like if you have a corporation,
The bank wants a 2-year average.
Yeah. If you pay yourself dividends 1 year and business income another year, or whatever else another year, the bank's going to have issues with that, and it's going to be more complicated. It might still be fine, but typically you want a 2-year average, consistent income, provable on taxes. And I like to tell people, accountants are your best friends 3 out of 5 years on a 5-year term. The 2 years before your mortgage, please declare as much as you can if you're going to be looking to switch. The 3 years beforehand, obviously, you're going to write everything off. And it's the accountant's job. It's their job to save you money. They're doing their jobs.
Everybody who's self-employed says the same thing. I mean, I just do what my accountant tells me.
Yeah.
So how many times have you heard that?
Every single time.
Every single time.
Every single time.
So sometimes the accountant will have you take out a loan from your company. You have to repay it in a year. So I'm never quite sure why that's a good idea. But loan's not taxable income. So that might be a year you show virtually no income.
Yeah. I had this great capital gains last year. Okay. Well, that's a one-time thing that can't be proved over long-term. Bank doesn't care.
So the simple way of looking at it is you need some kind of taxable income. Like when we talk about self-employed people, the most important thing we can say to you is there's a box on your tax return called line 15,000, line 15000. That is net taxable income.
Yep.
And that is the line that banks look at. That's what a bank thinks your income is. So if you've made a lot of maneuvers to make sure that shows a very small number, so you pay very little tax.
Unfortunately, no,
but normally we can find good solutions. And, sometimes people are married. A lot of times self-employed people are married to people who are on a salary. And, so there's ways of making it work.
Oh, yeah.
But we always have an answer. There's always an answer every time. But this is important to understand when we are asking all these questions and asking for all these documents. You're talking to somebody who's not the bank you deal with every day.
Yep.
And they don't have to ask as many questions. They don't have to ask for half the documents. They have the documents. They have multiple years worth of the information.
Yeah.
They don't need to repeat it. So it's like that. But if you want the best rate and your bank isn't the best rate, but you want the best rate through Butler, we're going to ask for some documents.
I like to tell people it's kind of like when you go to the doctor, right? They're going to ask you a series of questions to rule out the shit that doesn't matter. And we're going to do the exact same thing. And if you're worried about all the questions, then, something's going on there typically.
Well, yeah. I mean, the other consideration is patience. I mean, like the final thing to say about income verification with any mortgage broker is this, or any mortgage company, if it's not your home bank. Most important thing to understand is that we're not the decision makers.
No.
We gather as much information as we can, as many documents as we can. We send it to the bank, and the bank might say something like, "Hey, have them change the job letter to say this, like use the word guaranteed on the job letter."
Yep.
And we're back to square one. We have to explain to the client, well, what's wrong with my letter? You're stupid. Your bank is stupid. You're all stupid. You're stupid. You don't need anything extra.
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. It's not our money. We're brokers.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's the bank's money.
Yeah.
Okay. So If the bank says something, we have to obey. We don't always obey. Sometimes Ron will push back.
Ron is very good at that. Yeah. When it's necessary, Ron is good at that.
It's crazy. Twice today, I almost never have to do this. Like, this is like usually a once a month, once every 2 month thing. But literally twice today, I just said, email the underwriter back that says, Ron says no. Ron says, we're not going to give you the verification of that $1,500 deposit, which is ridiculous. But it's just say, Ron says no, get an executive to sign off. I had to do that twice today. Ron says no.
It's pretty funny when that happens. And then they say, all right, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah. So.